Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining today. So we will start with singing the Jai Radha Madhava prayers. So you can all follow on the screen. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Everybody Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Krishna Balaram, Jayo Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jayo Krishna Balaram. Jayo Gauranitai, Jayo Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jayo Gauranitai. Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Ananta Dev, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Ananta Dev. Jayo Srinivas Govinda, Jayo Srinivas Govinda, Jayo Srinivas Govinda, Jayo Srinivas Govinda. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada. Jai Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Jai Shri Shri Nittai Gauranga ki, Jai Shri Lakshmi Narsimhadev Anantadev ki, Shri Srinivas Govinda ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nittai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Before we start, please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we'll be reading from the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, text number 62. So I'll repeat the, I'll read the verse and you can all repeat after me, and then we'll read the purport. So please repeat after me. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. Sangaste Supajayate. Sangaste Supajayate. Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Kamat Krodho Vijayate. Kamat Krodho Vijayate. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. Sangaste Supajayate. Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Kamat Krodho Vijayate. So we'll read the word-to-word meaning. So please repeat after me. Dhyayataha, while contemplating. Vishayan, sense objects. Pumsaha, of the person. Sangaha, attachment. Teshu, in the sense objects. Upajayate, from desire. Krodaha, anger. Abhijayate, becomes manifest. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charna Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So please repeat the translation after me. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. And from such attachment, lust develops. And from lust, anger arises. So I'll read the translation once again and then we'll read the purport. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. And from such attachment, lust develops. And from lust, anger arises. Purport. One who is not Krishna conscious is subjected to material desires while contemplating the objects of senses. The senses require real engagements, and if they are not engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, they will certainly seek engagement in the service of materialism. In the material world, everyone, including Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, to say nothing of other demigods in the heavenly planets, is subjected to the influence of sense objects. And the only method to get out of this puzzle of material existence is to become Krishna conscious. Lord Shiva was deep in meditation, but when Parvati agitated him for sense pleasure, he agreed to the proposal, and as a result, Kartikeya was born. When Haridas Thakur was a young devotee of the Lord, he was similarly allured by the incarnation of Maya Devi. But Haridasa easily passed the test because of his unalloyed devotion to Lord Krishna. As illustrated in the above mentioned verse of Sri Yamunacharya, a sincere devotee of the Lord shuns all material sense enjoyment due to his higher taste for spiritual enjoyment in the association of the Lord. That is the secret of success. One who is not therefore in Krishna consciousness, however powerful he may be in controlling the senses by artificial repression, is sure ultimately to fail, for the slightest thought of sense pleasure will agitate him to gratify his senses. Thus ends the purport. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitan Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So here the second chapter, we all know the title is Contents of the Gita Summarized. So actually the whole content of Bhagavad Gita, is pretty much summarized in the second chapter. And that's what the heading says. And here Krishna is speaking very high advanced philosophy. And but at the same time, this verse is very simple and practical. And just to get little context of this particular verse, when is Lord Krishna speaking this, right? So you all know Bhagavad Gita. It started in the battlefield. Arjuna did not want to fight. Krishna convinced him by saying that fighting is your duty. And he also, Arjuna's one of his concern was his grandparents, his uncles, and his loved people. They will all die, and death is not good at all, right? And then Krishna clarifies that you don't have to worry about the death of these people because the body is temporary, the soul is eternal. So Krishna goes on explaining in different ways how the soul is eternal and the body is temporary. And he says one who is intelligent actually does not lament for the living or the dead. Gatasu na gatasu nanu sochanti pandita. If you are actually a learned person, there is nothing to feel bad about death. Why? Because death is just change of body. We all talked about it many times. If somebody changes his dress tomorrow, will we feel bad? Oh my God, what happened? Yesterday you were in a different dress. I see it has changed. So it is same like that. Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya. Krishna clearly says this dress, this body is nothing but a dress, right? So that aspect Krishna clarifies very clearly in multiple verses that this body is external like a dress, the soul is eternal, and then he says, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Even if you can kill the body, the soul can never be killed, right? He says different ways that the soul cannot be burnt because there are fire weapons. They cannot be made wet because there could be different kinds of weapons. It cannot be dried, cannot be burned, cannot be cut into pieces. Krishna explains in various ways and convinces Arjuna that your concern that these people, my grandfather Bhishma and all, they will die, is not a valid concern at all because body is anyway temporary. It will anyway go away. And why you want to worry about death? Then what is the important thing? Then Krishna says you have to do your duty. And he says you are being concerned that your people will be killed. But actually what is to be concerned is if you don't do your duty, then you are in trouble. Who is in trouble? You are in trouble. What happens if you don't do your duty? You will actually incur sinful reaction. So we are all bound to do our duty, whatever duties we have been given. If you don't do the duty, you will incur sinful reaction. And what does that mean? You will end up going to sinful, hellish planets. So that is something of concern. So he tells Arjuna, not doing your duty is a problem. You will go to the hellish planets because you will get sins. Because as a Kshatriya, it was Arjuna's duty to fight and establish religion so that the society is taken care and they can all progress spiritually. We talked about that. And then he says, if you think you will die in the battle, right? Battle, there could be two outcomes. You could either win. You'll say, okay, I will do my duty so that, I won't get sinful reaction. I won't go to hell. But what if I get killed in the battle? Then it's all lost, isn't it? The whole point of battle is lost. Krishna says, no, even that, he's very fortunate one who gets to leave his body in the battle because he will go to the heavenly planets. So then Krishna now clearly says that, forget about being worried about the soul, about the body, because the soul is eternal. And then he says you have to do your duty, because if you don't do your duty, you will end up in a hellish situation. And if you do your duty, you will actually, you will attain heavenly planets, right? Not only that, one has to die in the battle. If one does his duty very nicely in this life, right? At the end of life, they will actually go to heavenly planets. They will go to Swarga because they have followed all the rules and restrictions. They have followed the regulations. They did their duty. They were honest. They were truthful. Everything they did nicely. So Krishna rewards them. You go to Swarga. But then Krishna doesn't stop there. He says, but beyond this, he says, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. So the Vedas mostly talk about this. They talk about this different kind of rituals. If you do so-and-so rituals, if you follow so-and-so conditions, you will get Swarga. You will, at the end of this life, you will go to heavenly planet. So the Vedic civilization has this advanced information. So people used to do, post-retirement and post-life planning, right? Here currently all we do is maximum we can do retirement planning. And then if you ask any modern or a regular person, well, what about after death? What about that? Is there any planning available for that so that I can get a good life? That information our modern so-called civilization does not have. But the Vedic knowledge has the information. It says, it talks about so many things. Simple example I'll give you. If you give charity, it is said, you will get back 3 times in the next life. So that is what gives impetus for people to do charity. They're not just planning for this life, they're planning for next life also. If you do so-and-so yagna, you will actually get to go to heavenly planets, or you'll get good birth. So things like this, people were aware of this. So that is why the Vedic civilization, a lot of rituals, a lot of rules and regulations they follow, so that they have the advanced information of post-death. The future life also they can plan properly. Right? Prabhupada used to phrase this statement. He says, every moment we are carving our next life. It's a very profound statement, right? Carving, the sculptor, carves a deity, right? So you're making that, it is in his hand. He wants it to, make a male or a female or a smiling or anger, right? He's carving, it is in his hand. It is free will, one who is doing the, the sculpturing work. So in the same way, all of us, every moment we are carving our next life. What does that mean? So if you behave properly, you're, getting a good next life. But if you behave sinfully, dishonestly, if you're cheating, you're actually carving your own future. Sometimes, when people face difficulties, whom can we blame? If a person is going through a difficulty, there is nobody to blame other than his own person, right? It's earlier days, it's a common phrase. I don't know what life, previous life, what sinful activity I did, I'm suffering today, right? This information is there. So we are the architect of our future, right? What will be our next life? So this life also is a result of our activities in the past lives. So there is this whole concept Krishna explains. There is this life, there is future life, there is past life, and then the future can be either hellish or heavenly, all these things. But then he says, the Vedas are mostly talking about this. Traigunya Vishaya Veda, but then he says, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Arjuna, think beyond these 3 modes of material nature. Think beyond these modes. What is it? And then he says, introduces a concept of yoga. You have to work, and he says, I will tell you about yoga by which, while doing your duty, you don't have to worry about positive reaction or negative reaction. Right? Negative reaction, you have to be concerned. Positive reaction also, you have to be careful that this is really positive. Because there were incidences where people did something good, unknowingly it resulted in a bad outcome. Sometimes that also happens. Prabhupada gives an example. A mother, one of the child was diagnosed with typhoid. When there is typhoid, solid food should not be given. And that child who was not being given food, he has a brother also. Brother was doing good. So mother was giving only liquid foods, not solid food. But his brother was upset, he wanted solid food, but mother was saying, no, you should not take. Then the brother saw, oh, what is this? Brother wants solid food, but mother is not giving. When mother is not looking around, let me help him out. So he goes and he takes some chapati and he gives him. The other kid who has typhoid, he ends up eating. But what happens if he eats solid food? The typhoid, it will become complicated. So his health became complicated and he had to be admitted to the hospital. And later when the mother came to know, how did you end up getting the solid food? He says, the brother gave me. And then she would, slap the brother. Why did you do this? So the intention was good. The brother had good intention. But sometimes, even though sometimes you have good intention, you're thinking you're doing the right thing, but it could have negative consequences if you are not completely aware of the situation, right? So that is why Krishna says, I will tell you about something where you don't have to worry about this good reaction or negative reaction at all. Because, the good, even if you get good reaction, if you go to the heavenly planets, that is temporary. And the negative, you will have to suffer. So introduces the concept of yoga, by doing which you can be freed from the reactions of all your works. Now this is a very important concept that Krishna introduces. And it's a very, it's good to take an analogy of a train journey, right? Our lives are like this material world. In this material world, our lives are like a train journey. And what happens in a train? In a train journey, there are different classes of compartments, isn't it? There is the general, and then there is the, the sleeper class, and then there is the first class, and then there is the AC and all that, right? So in the train journey, if somebody is in a sleeper class, or if somebody is in, for example, a sleeper class, it's like an average, it's a middle thing, right? It's not too bad as the general compartment, or it's not too luxurious as the first class or the AC compartment. Now, if one is just bothered about, I'm in the sleeper class, and let's say there are some rules and conditions put. If somebody misbehaves, he will be moved to a general compartment, right? So people will not misbehave. And then if they say if somebody behaves nicely, they will be moved to the better compartment. Now everyone might become busy. Oh, I'm in sleeper class. Let me go to the the first class. And then the first class person might be thinking, oh, let me do something so that I can go to the first class AC compartment, right? So all said and done, if people become very busy in just trying to move between these compartments, ultimately they're in a train, right? But how much enjoyment and experiences can you get in a train, right? In the compartments, there's very limited experience, isn't it? Now, outside this train compartments, the whole world is there, isn't it? There are, they can see from the windows. You can see the trees, the forest, the lakes, the waterfalls, the different kinds of landscape, different kinds of atmosphere, and they could actually be experienced very nicely. But then if the people are very busy just trying to move from one compartment to other compartment and they're stuck in the train, is it a wise thing to do? That is what Krishna is saying here, Arjuna. Going to heavenly planet is like going to a first class compartment from sleeper class. Going to hellish planet is just like going to a general compartment. Yes, it is inconvenient. But doesn't matter which compartment you're in, you're still in the train. You're limited. The train, the experiences are limited, right? Not very convenient. So what are the inconveniences in this material world? Krishna says, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. The birth, death, old age, disease. These 4 things are there. So Krishna is saying that by doing this yoga, you can free yourselves of this material circumstance. And what happens? Let's say somebody says, well, there is a way you can actually get out of this train, not worry about these compartments, and experience the world out there. That is what this yoga is all about. To come out of this, train, or this material world, which is like a train, and just going, up and down, higher planetary or lower planetary. It is like the game of Ludo, right? We all played the Ludo during childhood. If you get the good dice, you'll get a ladder, you go up, or else if a snake catches, brings you down. That's such an interesting game, but that is what our life is all about. People are working hard only to climb a ladder, and knowingly, unknowingly, they may do something only to get held by a snake and again come down, right? So punarapi jananam, punarapi varanam, this is going on. So then Krishna talks about this yoga, and yoga is actually, the word yoga comes with the root word is yuj, means to connect to Krishna. So Krishna then talks about how to do your duty in yoga. That means you have to be conscious of me, right? Beyond this train, you have to be aware that there is a world out there, and there is an experience that we can have. In the same way, beyond this, heavenly planet and lowerly planet and, name, fame and all these things, there is a complete different world called as the spiritual world, where Lord Krishna resides, and we can have a connection with him, and we don't have to be bound by this material world anymore, right? So this is the whole, the essence of ability to connect to Krishna and working in that way. And what does it mean? Now it completely adds a new dimension. The dimension is about being connected to Krishna. Doing now all this work that Arjuna was doing anyway because of duty I have to do. Now Krishna says, do this for me, to please me. So this is a complete different dimension, right? Instead of working hard so that I can make some name, fame, money, everything temporary, work in such a way that you please the Supreme Lord, you please Krishna. Then what happens? Now you're working towards getting out of the train and entering into the real world. So this is what yoga practice is all about. And Krishna is saying now for yoga, one of the most important thing is yoga means not the physical yoga, right? That is also, it's a preliminary stages to be able to control the mind and senses. Yoga Indriya Samyama, it is said. So the preliminary thing to be able to actually advance in yoga is to control the senses. So Krishna here talks about, if you want to advance in yoga, if you want to really connect to me, be freed and be freed from this material world of repeated birth, death, old age and disease, and come out of the cycle of transferring between compartments, right? So the same example, many times it has been mentioned. Another analogy is the prison house, right? Prison also has different compartments. There is the the first class, second class, third class, and there is a very severe confinement. Again, this material world, our lives are like this. We are in a prison. We should not just be working towards, I'm in a third class prison, how can I go to second class? And somebody will say, oh, second class prison has a window. You will actually get daylight, right? Or first class prison has attached bathroom, right? But this is that is not a wise thing to do. If the person can do something so that he can be freed from the prison, that is the most wise thing to do. So in the same way, Krishna is saying we should work towards freeing ourselves from this prison. Now what is the main problem being stuck in this prison? It is these senses that we have. If the senses are uncontrolled, they can lead us into problems. And here Krishna in this verse is saying, how do these senses work? How will they lead us into trouble? What has happened? Why is sense control so important? What happens if I don't control my senses? So Krishna is saying how the senses work. So first it starts with contemplation. He says, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. So Pumsaha means a person, right? Dhyayato means, contemplating. Vishayan means the sense objects, right? We have senses and there are sense objects, right? We have 5 senses. From childhood we have learned. And there are sense objects that will give pleasure to these senses, right? So if you see eyes, something beautiful, that gives pleasure to the eyes. And you have tongue, something tasty, gives pleasure to the tongue. Something, very nice to hear, gives pleasure to the ear. Something very nice to touch, gives pleasure to the skin, right? And something very nice to smell, gives pleasure to the nose. So we have these 5 senses and there are 5 sense objects. Now what happens if you just get carried away by being, trying to just please these senses? See, again, the body is temporary. That means the senses are also temporary. If you spend a lot of time just trying to satisfy the senses, what will happen? It is all lost in vain, because at the end of the day, your body is lost, your senses are also lost, and the soul is now, it doesn't know what body it will get again. So it is not a very wise thing. But then all said and done, even though the senses are strong, and Krishna is saying, what happens? Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha, if you start contemplating on the sense objects, what happens? Then Sangas Tesupa Jayate, you will get attached to the sense object. Let's say you want to eat something very tasty. Suddenly in your mind it comes, ice cream. Then now you're contemplating. Just you see an ice cream, you're not thinking about it, it's gone, it's just a picture, right? But this is what the marketing people have, realized. Impressions, they will try to create more and more impressions. Why? To do this. Dhyayato Vishayan Punsa, they want you to contemplate. That is what marketing department is all about. They want you to contemplate on it so that then Sangas Tesoba Jayate, you will then build an attachment for it. Right? That's why in the billboards, in the TV and all, they keep repeating the same advertisement. They want to trigger that attachment. Now once you get attached, what happens? If you start contemplating, if you keep seeing it multiple times, you will start contemplating at some point of time. And once you contemplate, Sangas Tesoba Jayate, you will get attached to it. Now what happens after attachment? Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. When you get attached to a sense object, it leads to lust. Now you want it, right? Isn't it? If nobody talked, if like a small kid also, sometimes you see, they're happily playing. Another kid comes with ice cream in his hand. That's it. Now you see this verse, you can see what happens. First thing, Dhyayato, he contemplates, what if I also get ice cream? Right? And then he gets attached to it. And then Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Now he has a strong desire. He will go find where is his mom or dad. He will catch them and say, I also want ice cream. He will show, right? A very strong desire. Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. And then what happens? Let's say the child has cold or it's a winter seaon, most probably the parent won't approve. And then what happens? Kamat krodho bhi jayate. The child will get anger, right? Exactly as it is said. Kama, krodha. It will lead to anger. When your sense pleasure, when your senses are not satisfied, it leads to anger. And once you get anger, it is actually a downhill from there, even psychologically. And Krishna also says here, actually the next verse, it will be covered next Sunday, but I'll quickly read what happens. From anger, krodhod bhavati sammohaha. You become delusioned. What happens? Delusion. If you get anger, they say even scientifically they have analyzed, there is something called a prefrontal cortex in the brain where all the logical thinking happens. If you get angered, it gets short-circuited. So your reasoning is lost. So what Krishna said, scientifically they have proved the same thing, right? Krodhod bhavati sammohaha. You get delusioned. And then what happens? Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. You will lose your memory. Because if you get delusioned, you lose your memory. And then smriti vibhramaha, smriti bhramsat buddhi nasho. Your intelligence is lost. If your memory is lost, your logical thinking is lost, your intelligence is lost. You're as good as an animal, right? What differentiates an animal and a human? There is understanding, there is memory, there is intelligence. If memory is lost, intelligence is lost, and you're delusioned, you're as good as an animal. And what will one do if they come to the animal consciousness? They will do animalistic things, which will implicate them further. And then he says, buddhi nashat pranashyati. He will be destroyed. If your intelligence is lost, you will behave like animal. You will misuse your whatever you have, and you will lead into very complicated, sinful circumstances. And that is what is happening in this world. All these negative things that we see around us that are happening is because they could not control their anger. They could not control their lust. They could not control their senses. So it is so important to control the senses. If you don't control the senses, you are in deep trouble. And the Shastras actually give an example of every particular sense, if not controlled, what happens, right? It gives examples of different, from the nature, different animals, birds, beasts. So we'll quickly go through that. So it said the sense of vision, right? The sense of vision, to see if it is uncontrolled. The Shastras, the Vedic knowledge, give an example of a moth or a fly. It gets attracted by flame. Have you seen sometimes in India, mostly when there is no current, we put a candle and small moths, small flies keep flying. What happens? They get so attracted by the sense of that light, the dazzling, they can't control themselves and they go rushing into it. They have the other sense also. There's a flame, it's actually heat. They can sense the heat also, but they're just not able to control. They go, they want to touch it. And what happens? Many of you might have seen, they go so close, they burn and they fall and they die. Can you imagine? That means the sense of that vision, to see, to experience something beautiful, is so strong that it causes destruction for them. So this is an example given for the sense of vision. And then the sense of taste. An example is given. Any guesses what example is given for the sense of taste? The fish, yes. So they make the tackle, they'll put something, very interesting for the fish. Now fish just can't control. If that, that bait was not put, fish was anyway happily living. It was getting its food from different places, right? The fish did not have to go there. But then it is so uncontrollable. It senses also, fishes, actually it is said, they know that something foreign, it is coming from on top and somebody is putting, and it could be something trickery. If you go any small animal, insect also, you try to do something around it. They sense that something is not right, this is not normal. They try to go away. So the fish knows that this is something foreign, but it looks so, attractive. It can't control its sense, and it goes and tries to bite, and it gets stuck and causes its death. So this is what, when the tongue is uncontrolled, this is what happens. And then the sense of sound. Any animal, people might be knowing what animal example is given. Uncontrolled sense of sound, hearing. The deer, yes. So how the hunter captures. The deer is actually very agile. It can quickly run away on any sound. So the hunter, they capture the deer by playing a beautiful music. These hunters, they're expert musicians also. Or they will arrange somebody to play this beautiful flute music. Generally a very nice flute. The deer gets stunned, it just stops. Its sense of hearing is so strong. If it hears something very melodious, the deer just stops and loses completely itself and is just listening very attentively. It's just relishing that sound, the beautiful music. And here is when the hunter comes, and now the deer is not moving. It's so easy target. They attack, and the deer actually loses its life just because it could not control the sense of hearing. Otherwise, it was actually very sharp. Even a small sound, it can, figure out and it will run and escape. But no, it loses its life. So we covered the three senses. Now what is the remaining? The sense of touch. The example is given of, I think Mataji knows, elephant. Actually, the elephant example is given. The elephant is so huge, so powerful animal. But then how they capture the elephant, you all might be knowing in the forest, to capture elephant, what they do is they dig a big hole and they cover it up with leaves and, like banana leaves or whatever, or, it's coconut leaves, and cover it up with a very lightweight foliage so that it looks as if there isn't anything. And they train a she elephant. And the she elephant they will send it to a elephant that they want to capture. The she elephant is trained to go near, just touch it once and keep walking away quickly. So the sense of touch is agitated now that the elephant wants to associate with the she elephant, and it starts following it. And the she elephant knows exactly what needs to be done. It will take it close to the pit, and there it will just turn little to the side. But the male elephant, because it is so lost, it just keeps walking straight and is also running also, right? It falls directly into the pit, and that's it, gets captured, right? The sense of touch also, if uncontrolled, can cause death. And then the final sense, what is remaining? Sense of smell. And what is the example that is given? The example that is given is that of like a honeybee. Sometimes the honeybee, it enters the lotus and it is very captivated by the nice smell of the lotus. And this lotus is, by evening actually they close, So the petals, they start coming closer, and because it is so captivated by the sense of the smell, the honeybee actually sometimes it remains in the lotus, and when it closes, it gets suffocated and it dies. So the Shastras, the Vedic knowledge, they give us example that even if one sense is uncontrolled, see how in the nature we can see it is causing to their ultimate destruction. Now what is our position? For the fish, the tongue is strong. For the deer, the ear is strong. For the moth, the eyes are strong. For the elephant, the skin is strong, and things like that. For us, for a human being, what sense is strong? Any idea? All the senses are strong. So how careful we should be, right? So this is what happens if the senses are not properly controlled. We can get into trouble at any point of time. And if you just analyze, all the bad things that happen in the world are nothing but this sense, uncontrolled senses, a desire. Uncontrolled senses lead to uncontrolled desire, and uncontrolled desire leads to anger and cause all kinds of problems, right? So that's why Krishna is saying controlling senses is very important. Now what is the solution? We talked about the problem very much, right? What is the solution? Solution actually Krishna mentions in the previous verse itself. So I'll just read the translation in the interest of time. So Krishna says, one who restrains his senses and then fixes the consciousness upon me, right? Krishna is saying, if you fix the consciousness upon me, is known as a man of steady intelligence. So this is what we should do. We should fix our senses on Krishna. All the five senses can be fixed on Krishna. Now let's quickly analyze how can the tongue be fixed on Krishna? How is it possible? The sense of tongue. By eating prasadam. That is what the temple we do. We offer nice prasadam. And we request everyone at home also, you offer to Krishna, and there also you eat prasadam. Then the tongue will be controlled. And actually in the Shastras and the Acharyas have analyzed that if by just controlling the senses, controlling all other senses becomes very easy. So all we have to do is eat prasadam. And the sense, the tongue, there's one more thing it can do. It can vibrate. So by chanting Hare Krishna also is a sense control actually, because you're engaging your tongue in Krishna. So like that you can engage the tongue by eating prasadam. You can engage your eyes by seeing the beautiful deities of the Lord, beautiful pictures. You can now sign up to temple updates and things. You can see the beautiful forms. You can have nice calendars, nice paintings, nice pictures at home. You can you can engage your eyes in seeing beautiful forms of Krishna. Hearing, you can engage by hearing nice kirtans. You can chant, you can hear your own chanting, you can do nice kirtans. And the sense of touch, actually the King Ambrish Maharaj was mentioned in the previous verse. How is the sense of touch engaged in Krishna's service? What example is given? Anybody remembers? So it is said the Ambrish Maharaj were always visiting the temple, and in the temple, our Sunday also, later when it becomes crowded, people, we touch each other, right, in the line, in the queue and all. So you get sense of touch just being in the association of devotees. If you're touching the devotees, that is also being engaged in Krishna's service, right? So in this way, you're hearing, you're seeing, you're tasting, you're touching, and smelling also. How do we engage our sense of smell in Krishna's service? We offer agarbatti, we offer flower, right? That smell is also, we are engaging the sense of smell in Krishna's service. So what happens when we engage our senses in Krishna? We actually get strengthened, we get spiritual strength to not be deviated and distracted into these material, objects, material sense objects. So that is a secret. That is a consequence of not controlling senses. And if you control your senses, you can be in touch with Krishna. And if you're in touch with Krishna, your path is clear. You're out of the prison. You're out of your train. you are into the open world, you can explore a lot more. An example is that of Narada Muni. See, we hear about this, Bhagavatam, Krishna's Leela and Lord Rama's Leela and everything. These are all Nitya Leela, they're always happening. Just by hearing, they're so relishing. Imagine Narada Muni, he can see them live in person. Right? Seeing is good, but experiencing in person. So this is what happens. The soul is actually completely free to travel all across the universes and experience the real freedom in the service of the Lord. And that is what the ultimate freedom that Krishna wants to give all of us. He doesn't want us to be just like those, unintelligent animals and being carried away by a strong sense and being, causing trouble for our own selves. He wants us to become intelligent by using this knowledge and applying in our day-to-day life and actually get closer to Krishna. So all we need to do is engage our senses in Krishna's service. Now one can say, oh, how do I do that? I'm busy, I have so many work to do. I'm a housewife, I have to cook, take care of children. I'm a working person, I have office work to do. Or I'm a businessman, I have business to do. When do I have time to engage in Krishna's service, right? One could say that. Or they could say, I cannot engage in Krishna's service, I am busy with all these things. That is true, we are busy, we all have our duties to do. But if you analyze, we do have free time also. Or else, the restaurants won't be running, the movies won't be running, the TV shows won't be running, isn't it? Everybody has free time beyond your duties, and that free time is what we have to capture. I'm just talking about practical application. How do I practically apply this verse? We all have to see, we all have some free time. What am I doing in that free time? Remember, we are all architects of our future. Am I architecting something bad or something good or something wonderful? So that is what is our homework. And this homework is going to be there throughout our life. At any point of time, when you have free time, right? What am I doing during my free time? Am I watching Instagram reels about the next Bollywood movie? Or am I watching Instagram reel about, the recent darshan of, some temple? Or am I actually watching Mahabharata or Ramayana, or am I watching some other, materialistic media? So like this, the free time, we can always engage. And even sometimes you're not free, you're doing something also, still you can engage. Prabhupada used to say, if you're walking, you can chant Hare Krishna. Like a lot of us, we are doing a lot of manual works during the day, isn't it? Sometimes cooking, cleaning, taking shower, this, that. You can play kirtans. You can listen to nice lectures. You can listen to Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So where there is will, there is way. Definitely, we all can find out time to connect to Krishna. And all we need to do is a little homework. When I have free time, what do I do, right? So that is how, and Krishna says, by doing that, you will definitely come back to me. See, to get closer to something, all you have to do is spend more time around it. You will definitely accomplish it, right? So all we have to do is, how do I take some time out in my busy life to connect to Krishna? And all you have to do is, you don't have to stop any of your busy activities. When you're not busy, you connect to Krishna, and slowly, even when you're busy, you will naturally be thinking of Krishna. And that is how you will attain Krishna consciousness. So the perfection is not just doing some Krishna activity, it is to be conscious of Krishna at all point of time, right? So I'll stop here. I'll request to hand over the beads. We can all chant Hare Krishna mantra. So anybody coming for the first time, any newcomers, you can, we have one Mataji over there volunteering to give you a nice gift. So today we also have, we are doing this prayer vigil for this Pahalgam victims. So it's so unfortunate in this world, as we can see all the negative things that are happening around us. But there is something we can all do. We can pray for the victims. We can pray for the world peace. We can all chant together and get the Lord's blessings. So in the interest of time, what we'll do is probably we'll chant half round instead of one full round, so that we can all get ready. And so we'll all walk out of the temple hall, and we will go to the Milpita City Hall, and then we'll walk back. And 1:30 we can all have prasadam. So you can all get the beads, and we can start chanting. Can I also get one set of beads? Let me see if I have. So we'll chant half round of Hare Krishna mantra, and then we'll all go towards the prayer vigil that we want to do. So please repeat a few mantras after me. After that, we'll all chant Hare Krishna mantra together, okay? So we'll chant the Guru Pranam mantra and Panchatattva mantra. So please repeat. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा. So we'll all chant the Hare Krishna mantra together, as we mentioned before also. It is important to chant and hear clearly. We should pronounce clearly and we should chant in a prayerful mood. When we are chanting, we should know that we are praying to Lord Krishna for his blessings, for his mercy, so that we can actually progress and get closer to him. Okay, so we'll all chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, thank you all for joining. So I thought we will do half round, but we did a full round. I was reminded of a verse or a statement Prabhupada said. It said if you chant in the temple, the effect is 1,000 times. So I thought why lose the opportunity? We are anyway praying for well-wishing of everyone. So we'll complete here. So you can hand over the beads to the devotees. And as I mentioned, what we will do is we will all go out on a peace march. We will all chant the Hare Krishna mantra. We'll do nice kirtans. We will go till the Milpita City Hall and we'll come back and then prasadam will be served. So request all of you to now, actually you can all go and wear your footwear and be ready. And in front of the temple, volunteers are getting ready. We will arrange a nice kirtan and a queue kind of a system so that we can all go carefully. And today's feast sponsors, I'll mention their names. They can, get the sankalpa done here by the pujari, and then they can also join the peace walk we are doing. So Narendra Prabhu and family, and also Ramya Sridharan and family. So today's feast sponsors, please stand near the altar so the pujari can do sankalpa. And everyone else, you can all now go and collect your footwear, and we can go out and we will do some nice kirtans. Krishna arranged weather also seems to be good. So we'll do some nice sankirtan with the mood for praying for the victims of the Pahalgam and also for praying for peace and justice all over the world. So thank you very much. So we can all get started. Hare Krishna. Again, today's feast sponsors, Narendra Prabhu and family and Ramya Sridharan and family. Please get your sankalpa done here. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna, please wear your footwear and line up outside the temple. We will start soon in few minutes. Hare Krishna.